The serene expanse of the control room at the United Earth Space Monitoring Agency was suddenly pierced by a sequence of sharp, urgent beeps. Captain James Archer snapped to attention, his gaze fixed on the flashing console in front of him. The silence that followed was filled with the collective held breath of the room. A signal, unmistakably alien in origin, oscillated on the screen. Archer's reputation as a military translator and cryptologist made him the prime candidate for this unforeseen task. With furrowed brows, he studied the patterns, oscillations that didn't match any known human technology. The data suggested it was intentional, structured, a communication of sorts, but from whom? News of the contact spread, igniting a whirlwind of activity. Governments convened in emergency sessions, while scientists debated the signal's origin and content. The world, already a patchwork of alliances and rivalries, felt a shift in the air, a silent acknowledgement that everything was about to change. Meanwhile, a discovery made the situation more urgent. A scouting fleet of ships, moving with purpose and resolve, had been detected on a direct course for Earth. Their sleek hulls and the precise formation spoke of a civilization that was advanced, perhaps hostile. James had been through skirmishes and battles, his steady hand and cool head turning the tides more than once. But this was different. This was a challenge for which no amount of training could have prepared him. As the first line of communication, he became Earth's voice, its ears, and in many ways, the harbinger of its fate. The command center buzzed with a cacophony of voices and ringing phones. James sat, enveloped by the chaos, the weight of his task anchoring him firmly to his seat. He knew the message hidden within the signal could rewrite history, but only if he could unlock its secrets in time. As the alien crafts drew nearer, the world waited, watched, and wondered what the dawn would bring. The sky above the Yucatan Peninsula had never felt so small. Eyes from around the globe were trained upward, where the alien fleet emerged like a cluster of stars plucked from the night. The world's military stood at the ready, an electric tension humming through the air, but the orders were clear. Hold fire. The fate of humanity hinged on what came next. Captain James Archer was in the throes of diplomatic maneuvers, each moment an eternity, each decision critical. The alien vessels were nothing like he had seen, sleek yet imposing, their hulls reflecting the sun's rays like dark mirrors. They hovered, silent sentinels challenging the world below. Communication had been one-sided, with Earth sending out greetings in every conceivable language and format. The response, when it came, was not a message but an action. A single scout ship detached from the formation, descending with deliberate slowness towards the United Nations headquarters, where world leaders and James waited. His heart raced as he watched the vessel land, a hiss of steam and the whisper of hydraulics the only sounds in the otherwise tense silence. A ramp descended, and from the craft emerged beings that were undeniably sentient, bipedal, their forms encased in suits that hinted at both biology and technology. Initial communications were strained. The aliens' vocalizations were a cacophony of tones and clicks that no human throat could replicate, but James dove into the work, deciphering, decoding, learning. Meanwhile, the aliens seemed equally puzzled by the humans' variety and numbers. Each gesture, every parley was scrutinized by countless eyes, both on the ground and in homes across the world. The day's end brought some progress, a basic understanding that the aliens were scouts, sent ahead of something larger, something more. Their surprise at the size of Earth's defenses was evident. The calculations they'd made of humanity's capabilities were off, drastically so. As James became the liaison with the visitors, he noticed their subtle unease at the human army's scale. They had expected less from a civilization confined to a single planet. It was a miscalculation that could change the nature of their mission, and Earth's response to it. The chessboard was set, and humanity was making its opening moves. The horizon brimmed with the might of Earth's united military as they staged a show of force that was both grandiose and chilling. Tanks rolled out in long columns, fighter jets roared overhead, and warships dotted the seas, their guns aimed skyward. It was an ancient human tactic, deterrence by demonstration. Captain James Archer watched from the central command post, a mix of pride and trepidation churning within him. The alien scouts observed silently. Their initial arrogance, sparked by a belief in superior technology, waned under the shadow of humanity's unexpected strength. Hovering in their ship, they scrutinized the display below, their sensors probing, analyzing. The message was clear. Earth would not bow to intimidation. Amid the thunderous booms of artillery exercises, James coordinated with generals and admirals, ensuring that the presentation was not just a spectacle but a promise of Earth's capabilities. Every missile launch, every squadron's precise formation was a note in a symphony of power, each one orchestrated for maximum effect. The world's populace stood united, their eyes reflecting the glint of sunlight on metal and the resolve to protect their home. Diplomats worked tirelessly, streaming images of the mobilization to the alien vessel, hammering in the reality of Earth's readiness. As the day wound down, the scout ship receded to a higher orbit, silent as ever. Their transmissions back to their homeworld were now tinged with caution. The humans had turned the tables, showing that they were not a divided primitive species, but a civilization with the fire and steel to defend their sovereignty. In the control room, James felt the collective sigh of relief from his team, a momentary lull in an escalating situation. But the true test was yet to come. The initial encounter had been peaceful, yet the universe was old and vast, and peace was often a fleeting luxury. The scouts had seen Earth's hand, but what they would do with that knowledge was a mystery as deep as the cosmos itself. Under the cloak of night, while the world celebrated their apparent victory in the show of strength, Captain James Archer's instincts told him the battle was far from over. His suspicion was soon justified. Reports of system breaches and unidentified entities near key military bases set off alarms. Infiltration. The alien scouts had shifted their tactics. James was roused from a restless sleep to confront the new threat. It was a silent invasion, a battle waged not with ships and guns, but with information and stealth. The alien technology was sophisticated, but human ingenuity was not to be underestimated. James spearheaded a counter-operation, blending his cryptologic expertise with the cunning of covert warfare. As cyber defenses were fortified, physical security around critical infrastructures was tightened. James worked with a select team, moving swiftly through the shadows to root out the alien spies. It was a game of cat and mouse, one that could escalate to an interstellar incident if a single step was misjudged. One such confrontation came sooner than expected. A hidden alien, cloaked in an adaptive camouflage, was cornered in a high-security hangar. James faced the intruder, his sidearm steady. With a mixture of sign language and the few alien phrases he had mastered, he communicated a stark choice: surrender or face the might of human retaliation. The alien, recognizing the futility of its mission, yielded and was taken into custody. Interrogations revealed the scope of their espionage, a comprehensive assessment of Earth's defenses meant to prepare for a full-scale invasion. With the immediate threat neutralized, James reported the victory to his superiors. But triumph was tempered by the knowledge that their visitors were more than curious explorers. They were harbingers of a conflict that could engulf their world. The standoff that followed the hangar incident was a tense prelude to a confrontation that neither side desired, yet both were preparing to face. The tensions between Earth and the alien scouts had reached a boiling point when an urgent distress signal was intercepted from Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. The research colony there, a symbol of human ingenuity and spirit of exploration, was under attack. Captain James Archer, along with an elite squadron, was dispatched on a harrowing journey across the solar system. Their approach was stealthy, utilizing the latest in cloaking technology to avoid detection by the alien fleet orbiting the icy moon. Europa's surface, usually tranquil and silent save for the occasional crack of shifting ice, was now marred by the cacophony of war. Explosions punctuated the stillness of space as human defenders fought desperately to protect the colony. James, in his specialized exosuit, led his team onto the battleground with a calm resolve. The alien forces were relentless, but the humans were tenacious, fighting not just for territory, but for the very notion of humanity's place among the stars. The battle raged, a dance of death and defiance, as Archer's squad provided critical support, turning the tide in favor of the defenders. In the skirmish's climax, James found himself in a duel with an alien commander. The two combatants, a testament to their respective species' martial prowess, clashed amidst the frozen geysers and craters. With strategic cunning and a hint of luck, James overpowered his adversary, securing a hard-fought victory for his team. The siege was lifted, but the cost was immeasurable. The colony lay in ruins, and the price in lives was steep. The battle for Europa was not just a territorial dispute. It was a declaration that humanity would not yield to intimidation, that the human spirit would not be quelled by fear or firepower. As they regrouped, the humans took stock of their losses and their gains. They had won the battle, but a larger war loomed on the horizon. James Archer, once a mere translator and cryptologist, had become a war hero, yet he knew the fight for their future had only just begun. In the aftermath of Europa's siege, a new reality set in. While humanity had demonstrated its resolve, Captain James Archer knew that survival would require more than just military might. It would need alliances. Combing through the alien commander's datapad, he uncovered a trove of intelligence, including mentions of other civilizations oppressed by the Scouts' empire. Seizing the opportunity, James initiated clandestine communications with these alien societies. His offer was simple, yet revolutionary: an alliance against the common foe. Each connection was a delicate thread, weaving a tapestry of unity from the frayed strands of subjugation. With each new ally, the odds shifted. The oppressed civilizations brought their own strengths and strategies. Some were masters of subterfuge, others brought technologies far beyond human understanding, and all had a burning desire for freedom. James found himself at the heart of a growing interstellar coalition, a role he never imagined when deciphering that first cryptic signal. As the coalition grew, so did its plans. They began to share intelligence, coordinate strategies, and prepare for the inevitable confrontation. Earth became a sanctuary for rebel leaders, a hub of collaboration. The United Earth Command, once wary of external threats, now opened its arms to new allies, their combined forces a beacon of resistance. James worked tirelessly, his mind always on the next move, the next negotiation. He fostered a camaraderie among the disparate members of the coalition, finding common ground in their shared aspirations. The war, once feared to be Earth's end, became a crucible for forging a united front that could stand against the Scouts and their empire. As preparations for a joint offensive began, James felt the weight of his responsibilities. He had become not just a military officer, but a diplomat, a strategist, and to many, the face of the resistance. As the united civilizations readied themselves for the battle to come, James knew that the fate of countless worlds now rested on their ability to stand together. The day of reckoning had arrived. The coalition forces, a patchwork of species united under a singular goal, braced for the incoming storm. A behemoth fleet of the Scouts' empire loomed near, casting a shadow over Earth. Captain James Archer stood on the command deck, his gaze locked on the approaching menace, his heart steady despite the adrenaline coursing through him. The battle began with a silent flash, as weapons beyond the visual spectrum exchanged volleys. Earth's orbit became a chaotic whirlpool of light and debris. The alien allies, each with their unique ships and tactics, interlocked with humanity's defenses, creating a formidable barrier. James coordinated the fleet movements, his mind racing to outmaneuver the enemy. His voice was calm over the comms, directing ships, issuing warnings, and rallying his forces. The Earth's defenders dove into dogfights with alien fighters, the sky a canvas of their deadly dance. On the ground, cities transformed into fortresses. Their populations moved to shelters while surface-to-air defenses roared to life. Every corner of the world joined in the struggle, a symphony of resistance playing out in the face of invasion. In a pivotal moment, James led a squadron through a breach in the enemy's formation, targeting the flagship of the Scouts' armada. The combat was fierce, the stakes immeasurable. With precise strikes, they disabled the flagship, crippling the command structure of the invading force. The coalition's varied strengths complemented each other, alien ingenuity enhancing human tenacity. As they fought, a realization dawned on the enemy. Earth was not merely defending itself, it was the heart of a united resistance, the keystone in the arch of freedom against oppression. The invaders wavered, their advance stalling under the relentless onslaught of the coalition. Humanity, with its newfound allies, was not just holding the line, they were pushing back. And at the center of it all was James, whose strategic prowess and unshakable courage were proving to be the turning point of the battle. The Earth, this blue and green haven of life, would not be conquered. As the dust of battle settled and the final remnants of the Scout Empire's fleet retreated into the darkness of space, Earth's horizon began to brighten with the light of dawn. The world had held its breath, bracing against the shadow of invasion, but now it exhaled in victory and relief. Captain James Archer stood at the heart of the United Earth Command Center, the weight of his responsibilities lifting as cheers erupted around him. The sky, once a battlefield marked by the streaks of laser and missile fire, was now calm, a canvas of peace. Humanity, alongside its diverse coalition of alien allies, had not merely survived, it had triumphed. The Scouts, initially a daunting force, were now dispersed, their strategy of intimidation shattered by the unified strength and spirit of Earth's defenders. The planet had transformed overnight from a solitary outpost to a beacon of hope and resistance within the galaxy. The unity forged in the crucible of conflict had blossomed into a robust alliance, redefining the political landscape of the universe. In the aftermath of the battle, Earth emerged as a pivotal hub for interstellar diplomacy and cooperation. The bonds formed among the coalition members, once tactical necessities, had evolved into deep, enduring partnerships. Technologies were exchanged, cultural exchanges flourished, and a new era of shared knowledge and mutual advancement began. Reconstruction efforts were bolstered by alien technologies that accelerated healing and rebuilding, mending the scars of war faster than had ever been possible. James, who had once navigated the nuances of cryptic alien signals, now found himself a central figure in shaping the new galactic order. His tactical acumen during the war had been critical, but it was his diplomatic finesse and unwavering commitment to unity that had earned him accolades both on Earth and beyond. Honored as a hero, he was quick to redirect praise to the countless individuals who had stood resolute in defense of their homes and principles. As Earth's ambassador to the interstellar community, James facilitated forums where former foes and new friends discussed treaties and trade, exploration, and education. The Earth Coalition Treaty, penned under his guidance, became a cornerstone of galactic peace, advocating for cooperation over conquest, dialogue over destruction. Despite the celebrations and the outward expansion of humanity's influence, James remained thoughtful of the sacrifices made. Memorials were erected on every continent, each inscription a reminder of the cost of peace and the value of freedom. He often visited these sites, paying respects and reminding himself of the delicate balance between vigilance and trust. The new era also ushered in challenges as humanity adjusted to its role on the interstellar stage. Issues of governance, resource allocation, and interspecies relations required delicate handling. Under James's leadership, Earth hosted the Galactic Unity Games, a festival of cultural and athletic events that became a symbol of interstellar camaraderie and competition, underpinned by mutual respect. As the years passed, James's role transitioned from that of a wartime leader to a visionary peacemaker. His efforts to integrate Earth into the galactic community saw the establishment of the Interstellar Academy of Sciences, where beings from across the stars shared knowledge and collaborated on innovations that propelled civilizations forward. Looking back on those tumultuous days, James felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The universe was vast, and while the threats it held were real, so were the opportunities for friendship and growth. Humanity had not only defended its right to exist among the stars, but had also extended a hand of friendship, altering the course of its destiny. The legacy of Earth's stand against the Scouts would resonate through generations, a testament to the power of unity and the enduring spirit of a civilization that had looked into the abyss and found the strength to build bridges over it. As James gazed out at the peaceful expanse above, he knew that the future was filled with promise, each star a destination, each planet a potential friend, each challenge an opportunity to further prove that together, the galaxies could thrive in peace and prosperity.